So for my cross stitch, I wanted to use the colors that I have on hand that I got from my aunt. And so these kind of closely match the color scheme of the State Fair thing. And I'm going to use this, do you call it canvas, to cross stitch on that I picked up from Walmart. And go ahead and open it. So here is the canvas, and I was counting my squares that I had on my pattern that I made, and it was like 80 squares wide. So I'm going to go ahead and count that out so I don't just use up this whole thing and then waste. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I trimmed it down, and now I have some leftover pieces that I can cross stitch on later. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the hoop and try to use my pattern with these colors, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now that I got that in the hoop, I'm going to go ahead and pull my lighter blue color, and I'm going to show you how I separate out the floss strings. So here's the end of it. I'm just going to cut, like, take it in my finger and my thumb. I'm going to pull it up to my shoulder. And then that's the amount that I'm going to cut off. Right there. And then I just think about, I go for how many strings I want to use in my cross stitch. And sometimes it just depends on how you want it to look. You could use 2, you could use 3, or 4. There's 6 strings in each floss, but I think I'm going to stick to 3, so I'll separate it into 3 and 3. So I pull 3 apart, and then I kind of hold it in both hands like that, and then I just use my finger to run it down the center while I separate it. And that kind of keeps it from getting knotted on itself, and it's a pretty good way to separate them. So now I have my floss. I'll just put a little knot on the end so that it won't pull through, and then I can get started. So this is a cross stitch. So you want to start by coming in from the back to the front. And you are just going to look at the little X's, or the little squares that are on the canvas, and poke through one of the holes on one side. And then you're just going to make an X. So here I'm in the bottom right corner of a square. I'm going to go to the top left corner of the square, make a diagonal, and then I'll come to the bottom left corner of the square, and then I will go to the top right corner of the square, and it just makes an X. And this is how you form the stitches, and you just kind of follow the colors in the pattern that you have, and where one of your boxes is colored in that color, you make a cross stitch, and that's how you do it. So here is my finished cross stitch. It took much longer than I thought it would. It was a little trickier than I thought it would be too. The picture that I put the grid over helped a little as far as like getting proportions, but mostly I just looked at the picture and just winged it. I had this one that I messed up on, that with the M, so occasionally I would try out letters and stuff on here before I would do it on here, or sometimes I would do something on here and then just pull the string out because I didn't like the length of it. But I thought it turned out pretty nice. A couple of other things I was debating with this. I was going to make a full circle with it of white, and I was going to put it on the iron-on material so that way I could iron it on. And I was going to do a shirt, but the shirt I wanted was gray, and I realized that if I wanted to use the gray, it would make more sense if this background was gray. And so to stick with something white, the only white thing they had at Hobby Lobby was this bag. It's got different pockets and stuff, so I figured I will attach it to this white bag. And I just did 2 rows outside of the pattern itself, and I'm going to trim around it and then use my blue, the light blue. I mean, I could use any color I wanted, but I like this shade of blue, and go around to attach it to the bag. So hopefully this goes well, and I will give it a try. Okay, so I have changed my mind yet again, and I wish I hadn't changed my mind at this point. I wish I would have just stuck to it because now it's going to be tricky to iron around this, but I am going to use the iron-on. So I'm using, you put your piece on the piece that doesn't have the paper on it. The paper goes on the bottom, and this side is the side you want. So I'm going to attempt to cut around this so that way I don't have any excess pieces. And then once this is fixed to that, then I will trim real close to the white so that you can't see. At least that's my hope. I don't know. I really hope this turns out okay. Wish me luck. I really like how this turned out, so this is good. I just ironed it on, and the adhesive is staying on there pretty well. I used this in between the iron and my patch, so that way, I don't know, nothing got messed up on this from the heat of the iron. And now I'm going to trim even closer now that I got this on, and then I'm going to use this to make a stitch around the adhesive and the canvas. So the next part is to peel back this white piece. And then I can iron it. There we go. So there's this white piece that I peel back, and then I iron that onto the bag. So, like I said, first I'm going to trim around even closer. Like, here's the depth that I want. so I can just do a blue on the outside, one row. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Here we go. Alright, so I have finished doing the edging on it, and I just made sure I kept the paper in place as much as I could. I didn't want to touch this part a whole lot. I was worried that like my hands might mess it up or something. I don't know. So I'm not super pleased with my edging. Right here looks great. If I had this style all the way around, that would be great. I feel like if I had just made a circular shape or a square shape or rectangular shape, I would have had a much better edge. Unfortunately, I did not give myself much time to get this one done. I have, hold on, I'm trying to think. I have like 4 or 5 hours before we are going to leave to turn these in, and I have other things I need to wrap up. So, note to self, next time I do this, give myself more time, make a circular shape, do the iron-on because I feel like that really helps everything stay together. I'm still really pleased with this. I'm just disappointed in myself on the edging, but I am going to go ahead and iron this patch on, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm finished. So here it is. This is how it turned out. I like it. The edges are a little off because of the sewing I did. But yeah, it's on there pretty good. So I like that patch, the iron-on patch that I used. I think it's cute. I'm really proud of putting this pattern together by just looking at the picture. That was fun. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it does. So this is one of my submissions for the state fair. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite things to do when you go to the fair, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
If you would like to see more, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss a video.